Pythagorean Theorem, Lesson 24 notes, example number 3. Following the rule of thumb for safely positioning a ladder, the distance from the bottom of the ladder to the wall should be 1/4 the length of the ladder. Okay, so let me explain this. You can picture this. If you have a ladder and you're putting it up against the wall, if you put the base of the ladder too close to the wall and you start to climb the ladder, what happens? Well, eventually it would start to fall backwards. You would fall backwards and topple over. But if you take the bottom of the ladder and place it too far from the base of the wall, then you start to climb. What's going to happen is the bottom is going to slide out from underneath you and you're going to do a face plant. So there is a rule of thumb for safely positioning a ladder, and that rule is making the distance from the wall to the bottom of the ladder be 1/4 the length of the ladder. So if you have a ladder that is 16 feet long, it should be placed 4 feet from the wall because 16 divided by 4, or 1/4 of 16, is 4. So if you have a 16-foot ladder and it's 4 feet from the wall, how far up the wall will the ladder reach? It doesn't reach 16 feet up the wall because the ladder is at a slant. So if you take this picture and look at it here, okay, the ladder is 16 feet. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So down here, it's 4 feet from the wall. Well, the wall and the ground make your right angle. The wall and the ground make your right angle. So the ladder in this case is our hypotenuse, which means the 16 is the C. We're finding a leg in this case. We're finding a leg. Now, I'm going to use 4 as A and what we're finding as B. Because from the picture, I can see that the 4 feet is smaller than the distance the ladder will reach up the wall. So, and for me, I always like to make the shortest length A. All right, now I fill this information in. So A is 4 squared. I'm finding B, so I leave that as B squared. And C is 16. So 4 squared plus B squared equals 16 squared. Since we are solving for a leg, this is where you have to do the extra step. I need to do the extra step by taking this 4 squared to the other side. I need to take the 4 squared to the other side. So I'm going to have B squared equals the hypotenuse first, and then the opposite of positive 4 squared is negative 4 squared. We're not subtracting them, but leaving that as is. Okay, now that B squared is by itself, I can take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to clear this out, and we're going to take the square root. The ladder was 16 feet, so 16 squared. We're finding a leg, so it's minus. The shorter leg was 4, so 4 squared. Hit enter, and we get this big, long decimal number. Okay, so we know that B equals 15.4919 with the ellipse. But we want to round that. So it says in the directions to round it to the nearest tenths. So B is approximately. Tenths is 1 decimal place. So would the 9 make the 4 stay a 4 or go up to 5? It would make it go up to 5. So B is approximately 15.5. So remember, when you put this in your calculator and it doesn't come out evenly, you need to put 4 decimal places with the ellipse at the end. And then you're going to round it. Okay, so again, this is a word problem. We need to use words to answer it. So we need a sentence. So how far will the ladder reach up the wall? The ladder will reach about 15.5 feet up the wall. We must use that word about because we round it. So don't forget the word about or you would end up losing points. So the ladder will reach about 15.5 feet up the wall. If you have any questions on example 3, please let me know. Pause your video now and make sure you have everything written down.